For my Midori setup for 2014, I am keeping it very, very simple. I've tried my planner in my Midori, didn't like it. I've tried all sorts of different things. I've settled on the idea that I want to use my Midori solely for my art journaling and for my regular journaling. I have my regular size. This is my standard Midori, this is the brown one. And I have my Megadori, this is 8.5 by 12 inches, 16 by 12 when it's opened up. And I toyed with the idea of having various different notebooks in this one. And then it occurred to me that I could put them in here. So, yeah, this one is basically the same setup as it was before. Got my little fox charm, my little German Shepherd charm, my sparkly German Shepherd. It's a blue and orange colour scheme. In the front I've got two Leuchtturm pen loops, one on the front and one on the back. They're stuck to the leather, they're very adhesive, they don't come off, they don't lift or anything, and they fit most pens. So I've got my matching set of, well, they're not a set, but they're both woodland creatures with little foxes on. So that's my Paper Chase ballpoint and my Wilko's Woodland Creatures ballpoint. No, rollerball, sorry. On the front I've got a bulldog clip with these little cards in. These are the cards that come in the packs of paper for my Pogo, my printer, my photo printer paper. Comes in a set of 10 and one of these cards at the front, which is for aligning the pages or something. It shoots out the printer when you put the new paper in. So I keep those just for doing, little cards and quotes and things because it fits my colour scheme. I've got a to-do list, although I don't really use to-do lists in here, but just in case I need it, I've got it there. Then I've got my craft wallet here with my plain insert in here. I've tried various different inserts over the time I've had my Midori, except I haven't tried the sketchbook insert yet. I've got one over there, but I'm going to try that probably February. I like the plain one for drawing and writing in, and I can use it with wet media and all sorts. It's really good. I want to try the sketchbook, but it's fewer pages and I'm kind of umming and ahhing about it, but I'll see how I get on. So this is currently my December journal. As you can see, I'm working on that. That's my Christmas Chronicles journal. And I think probably I'll get halfway in it for December, and then I'll take it out and I'll flip it round, and then I've got January here, and I'll start January from this side. I've got my Everyday Matters list, which I printed out from Karen Winter's blog, and I just copied it into a trifold pamphlet, printed it on A4, and it fits perfectly. So I've got that. I can pick any of those to do at any point. I've got a few cards and things, art cards and contact cards and things in there, plus my own business cards. Never go anywhere without a business card. And I've got a Hello Kitty gift card that I got from Asda. She's so cute, but I use them for when I've stuck something down. I stick things down like that, so I thought I'd put one in here, and since she's really adorable, I put her in there. A little fox sticker there. I like foxes, you might have noticed. So this is my Christmas journal, and probably going to be my January journal as well. In here I have a 2014 calendar, because I do like to put the calendar pages in my journal, just so that I know what days are which, and what the date is and everything, because I never know. Honestly, I never know. So I thought this would be nice and easy. It was like 20p in the works or something, and you can just tear it off. It's just perforated, and I can just tear that off, stick it in my book, and then I've got the month calendar in my journal. Haven't got anything in this pocket at the moment because I've just taken all my, I did have all my Christmas letters and things in there that I was working on, but they've all been posted, so, and I don't have any others have come in, so until I get some more mail that I need to write letters to, I haven't got anything, but I will put like a couple of envelopes and letter sheets and things in there for if I do want to write a letter. Then I have my calendar. Now this is the landscape week on 2 pages plus month on 2 pages, and it's a 3-month pack. This is the one that Ray Blake and I designed between us, and this is January, February, March. So for January, let me turn it this way, I've got the dates, I've got monthly goals and debrief, and I've got events. Now I'm not using this as a work planner, I'm just using it for main events and things like that, just so that I know, you know, I'm not going to put things like doctor's appointment on here, but you know, I'm going to Germany on the 30th, so I've got that written in. If I've got to post something, I might put that in there. If I've got to go somewhere, if I'm going away or whatever, you know, stuff like that. More important than just don't forget to buy dog food kind of stuff. And then I've got a monthly goal where I'm going to put work and personal goals. So my monthly goal for January is to get Journal Gypsies up and running properly, and I've also got a book that I'm going to start working on, but I haven't decided exactly how much of it I'm going to try and do. You know, I just want to set a monthly aim, because without deadlines and aims, I'm not a goal-orientated person. I'm not competitive enough to be goal-orientated, but I am without an overall idea of where I need to be headed, I will wander aimlessly. And I don't want to wander aimlessly. I want to be a little bit more, not focused, but just aimed. I don't want to be aimless this year. I don't want to be aimless. I want to have somewhere I'm headed. So I thought that would just be a nice easy way to do that. And then I've got the week on a page, so I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and notes, and you can add your own dates and things. This is dateless, I like it that way. I've put in my dates already for the 3 months, and I'm going to use this for important events and quotes, which is what I was doing last month. I really like the idea. I completely stole it off another YouTuber whose name I cannot remember. I'm very sorry. If you recognise yourself, or you recognise, she had a Filofax. She was a Filofaxer, and she had a calendar that she wasn't using. She had a week on a page calendar or something that she wasn't using. So she started writing quotes, and she called it one thing a day. And I want to do something similar, where I write down notes or important events, like, you know, major figure dies or something, or, you know, Prince William's second child's born, or, you know, whatever takes my fancy that day, anything that I think is of significance to me. I will put it in here just so I've got a running record of things. I thought that would be a nice thing to do. Then I've got my plastic wallet with a notebook inside. In this side, this is two long pockets on this side, so I've got some diary stickers, I've got some post-its, and I've got my traveller's checklist. Because I'm going away, I thought it would be a good idea to have a checklist with me. Probably should be in my Filofax, but I've got it in here for now. I've got a 2014 calendar, which I probably don't need, but I had it anyway. I thought I might as well stick it back in there. I've got some of these really, really cute, awesome little stickers. These are Odong and Valerie, and they're so cute. They're very me and Maddie. Like little doggies, look. They've got cute little doggies. She's a girl and her little dog. I assume Oolong is the dog, or Odong, sorry, Odong is the dog, and Valerie's the little girl. I don't know, but they're really cute, and I like them. So I will use those in my journal. I'm not using this kind of stuff in my Filofaxes because it clutters things up and it gets on my nerves. But I have no problem at all in, you know, decorating, say this, with quotes and things. I'll be quite happy to decorate this with stickers. In fact, I think I've already put some stickers in. Yeah, I have. So for, you know, my birthday, I've got a little foxy sticker because I like foxes. I've got a little plane with Bon Voyage for when I'm going to Germany. I've got Ollie's wedding in there. You know, that sort of thing. I'd be quite happy to jazz that up with a few stickers and my notebook and my journal and things, so I won't be stickerless in my life. And then this one is the 128 page lightweight Midori. Now this one I used the last time for my art journaling and journaling. It lasted me from September right the way through till the end of November, plus a few bits and pieces for December. So it lasted like 3 or 4 months of daily journaling. So I thought if I use this for my long-term notes, that would be better, because what I was finding was using smaller notebooks was meant that I ended up with so many notes that I would fill up a notebook and then things in that notebook could still be relevant, but I was having to use another notebook because this one was full. I don't like that. So this one is going to be long-term lists and goals and ideas and things like that. So I wouldn't do say my current class planning in here, but if I suddenly have an idea for a class, I might use a page in here just to map the idea out, and then I'll transfer that to another place later on to do the actual planning. I can put my bucket list in here, my karma list, my book list, movies that I want to watch, places that I'd like to go, things like that. And then because it's 128 pages and I've got really small writing, that should last me at least 6 months, if not the whole year. It's brand new, I've only just taken it out the packet. Yeah, I think that should last me at least 6 months, if not longer. It might even last me to the end of the year if I write really small. But, you know, I'll just use it and see how I go. I suspect it will last me at least 6 months. And then in the back here I've just got some washi tape. I usually have a few stickers and a spare pencil and things in here, but for some reason they're not in here. I must have taken them out. So this is my travel around Midori. It's got thinner. I have thinned it out. I don't want it to be too heavy, so it's nice and light now. It's just got my current art journal, my diary that I'm going to write quotes and things in, and then my notebook that I'm going to have long-term stuff in that I will keep for a while. And if I need to, if I am going out and I need to take this with me, it's not too much to carry together. They're not very heavy, even together they're not very heavy, and I can still carry them in one hand if I really wanted to. This is basically just this and the notebook that I had in here. So they fit in my bag perfectly well, and I'm not worried about it, but I have the choice of whether I take both, or whether I take one, or you know, whether I just take a couple of note pages and put them in here and I put them back in there later. I've got lots of different options. So that is my travel about Midori. That will go everywhere with me. It will, you know, this is the one that I even if I'm going downstairs to cook, I will scribble in it while I'm cooking. I will sketch in it, I will write in it, I will doodle in it, I take it into town and sit in coffee shops and write in it and everything. It goes everywhere, absolutely everywhere with me, this one. Now my big Midori, my mega dory, can't zoom out any further to show you any more of it, I don't think. Yeah, I'm zoomed out as far as I can go, sorry. But this is my massive Midori, and I have 3 of these books in it, which are plain. Don't really need 3, but I thought I might as well. This will mostly sit on my desk, so I'm not really worried about taking it anywhere. It's not going to be going anywhere, unless no, even if I go away for a weekend, to be honest, I would take my little one. I wouldn't take this one. I might take one book out of here, but I wouldn't take the whole thing. This is my at-home art journal. And the way the art journal is constructed, you have a long loop that goes down here, that goes through your central book here, but it actually goes round in a circle and comes back up through here, so this bit is shorter. And would you believe it, this bit happens to be exactly the right length for a Moleskine cahier. Now, I was toying with the idea of putting a lined notebook in here and having 4 notebooks, but then that's too heavy. And again, if I use a Midori size notebook, even with my tiny writing, I can fill a Midori size notebook in a couple of weeks for what I want to use it for. So rather than do that, I've put this in here. This is a Moleskine cahier. It's like 192 pages, I think they are. They are very small ruled, very thin paper. I can write a huge amount in there. They're comparable to a composition book. The last quarter of the pages, I think, are perforated. Let me see. Is it the last quarter or the last half? Yeah, the last quarter. The last 30 pages or so are perforated. So if I want to take something out and, you know, put it into my A5 or, you know, put it into my Midori or whatever, I can do that. But I want to, as part of When Frogs Sing next year, I'm doing a year-long thing. Similar to, I'm actually using Danielle Laporte's Desire Map for my personal one. It's comparable to, say, using the Artist's Way or something like that. It's basically working through a book in a year. There's lots of people choosing lots of different books that they want to do. Some people are just picking books that they want to do a book a month, you know, just an ordinary novel or something. But this is something that I want to do for myself. And I will make notes in here. I'll do sketch notes and I'll do all sorts of bits and pieces. And it just happens that that is exactly the right height to fit a Moleskine. So that'll work. That works nicely. And again, that's something that will be on my desk. It's not something I would take out and about with me. I would specifically set aside an hour to work on that, or to, you know, do a class or whatever. So there you go, that is my big Midori and my little Midori. And those are going to be my art journals for next year. At present, now I've been known to have as many as 6 art journals on the go at once. I still have my Dawn de Vries Sokol one with the Doodle Diary. I still have that half finished. I may resurrect that next year. You know, I do what I feel like doing when I feel like doing it, but this is what I want at the moment. And unlike my Filofaxes, where I really want it to find a system that works, with this I'm quite happy to just keep changing things around until, you know, if I'm not happy with it today, I'll change it, and if I decide I was happy with it after all, I'll change it back tomorrow. I will do whatever I feel like with it. So, yep, that is my setup. Personal little carry about. And so this is what people call an everyday carry, apparently. That's a new term for me. I'm not familiar with it, but that's what they've started calling them, everyday carries. And then this will be my desk diary, desk journal, where I can, you know, I can sit down and work in it rather than just mess about, if that makes sense. So there you go, there's my Midoris for, at least for now, 2014.